Right next to me is one of the last minivans that you can buy in today's day and age and fits up to 8 people. This is the 2026 Honda Odyssey EXL, which is the base model of the Honda Odyssey. Now, just because it's one of the last minivans that you can buy in today's day and age, and it's the base model and relatively affordable, does that make it worth it? And should you go and spend your hard-earned money on this vehicle or not? In this video, I'll be taking you through the ins, the outs, and doing a driving portion, and let's answer the question together. Is it worth it? Now, what are the trims and price ranges on the 2026 Honda Odyssey? Well, there's 4 different trims. The EXL, which I have right here, the base trim, the Sport L, the Touring, and the Elite, which is the top trim. And it starts at $42,000 for the base trim and goes all the way up to $51,000 for the highest trim. The car I'll be reviewing today is the 2026 Honda Odyssey EXL, so the base model, which comes out to be an MSRP of $42,795. Now, this does have a few options, just a few, and if you don't want them, you don't have to have them. So the utility package, which comes with roof rails and a crossbar up top here, for an additional $595. Again, don't have to have it if you don't want it. And a functional package with cargo net, all-season mats, and a first aid kit for an extra $365. And after dealer and destination fee, this vehicle comes out to be $45,250. Thank you to Executive Honda for allowing me to use this vehicle for the day. Their information will be linked down in the description below. Let's dive right into it and start off with the front, because the front is very simple and has everything that you need. Nothing really crazy that you want, just what you need. You have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, but you do have halogen turn signals that are down here, separate from the headlight piece. So it's kind of odd. When I talk about the rear, you'll see as well, it's a mishmash with LED and halogen turn signals. That's just what it is. And what's very odd is down below that, you do have LED fog lights. So this vehicle has LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights, but halogen turn signals. It's just what Honda did there, but that's not bad at all. You have the Honda logo right front and center, so everyone knows you're driving a Honda vehicle. And B, you think that's just a Honda plastic piece right there. Well, behind that is your adaptive cruise control electronics. So you definitely don't want to damage this front bumper because it might damage the adaptive cruise control. Now, quick update. Those are dummy front parking sensors. Yes, I'm not joking. I've talked about in the original video, those being front parking sensors, but now I'm learning the Touring and Elite trim has them. This doesn't. It's just fake here because it's the same front bumper as the other trims. They just, boom, put those front parking sensors, but no actual electronics behind it. The airflow that this engine has is incredible. I can stick my hand in this part over here, this middle part here, which I have seen Land Rovers have this kind of middle part here, so it shares a little tie to Land Rover. Not at all, just in my opinion, I thought it was kind of cool. And down here as well with airflow. So much airflow for that engine. Under the hood is my favorite part about the Honda Odyssey, because you're probably expecting this vehicle to have what, some 4-cylinder engine that produces like 180 horsepower? No. Not at all. This is a truck engine. It's the same engine out of the Honda Ridgeline. They just took their truck engine and said, boom, we're putting it in a minivan. This is a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine that produces 280 horsepower and 262 foot-pounds of torque. You step on this thing, you get kicked back. It is pretty nice and fun to drive around with. Now, all that is going through a 10-speed automatic transmission, and all that power is going to both front wheels because this is only in front-wheel drive. You cannot get the Honda Odyssey in all-wheel drive like other 3-row SUVs. That's just what Honda offers. But to be honest, I live in New England and it's probably gonna snow in the next week or two here, and you're not gonna drive this car in 7-foot tall snow conditions anyways. So as a nice family get-around vehicle, it's totally fine with front-wheel drive. And this gets an average of 22 miles to the gallon, which is definitely not crazy high, but is not bad for a 3-row family SUV. The key fob of the Odyssey is nothing special in the design and the materials. It's just black plastic in the back. You have gloss plastic with the Honda logo in the middle there. This is the second key fob, so there's key fob 1, key fob 2, so it'll be 2 different ones and it'll signify what it is on the fob. Now flip it over here, you have lock, unlock, typical type of stuff, but you have 2 buttons on this key fob that make this car like a Rolls Royce, and that's these 2 buttons over here. So it's flipped this way, so this button will open up this door over on the side in the back, and this button will open up the door on the other side. What car have you seen that is in the $40,000 range that has a key fob that opens up the rear doors? I've only seen that in like, $200,000 luxury cars or minivans. So that's pretty cool. Now hold it again and those doors automatically shut. And then down here, you have 2 more buttons. You have this opens up the trunk automatically with a simple button. And once it's open, you can close it again, holding it again. And there is one more button as well. So hit the lock. Oh, I guess I have to wait for that to close. Hit the lock button, and then hit this button down here, and the vehicle should automatically start up. And there it goes. On the top of the Honda Odyssey, there is a sunroof, but it is tiny. It's really only for the driver here. So if you could see it right there, I actually can't even see it with my camera. So it goes from this part to that part. And if I open up the door and move this back, it is kind of small, and I guess the rear could see out of it, but it's basically only for the driver up here. Now this one does have the roof rails and the crossbar up here, and that is an additional $600 fee. If you don't want that, you don't have to have that, but it won't come with any roof rails up top if you don't have that. Now close this, and you have mirrors on the side that do have turn signals built into them over here, and the mirrors itself are massive. It's like the size of my hand, as well as blind spot monitoring. Maybe I shouldn't close that door, because the blind spot monitoring is in here. And down below, these are 18-inch alloy rims with all-season weather tires. You don't have any black plastic cladding like other vehicles. It is all body paint here. Makes it flush and stand out. It's pretty unique. Now, with your keys in your pocket, you can come up to this door, hit this button, and it automatically locks. Now, what if you want to unlock it? Just hold your hand like that, and then it unlocks. Now, this is also on the passenger side door, but it is not on the rear doors. And I stand corrected, it is also on the rear doors. Now, there's no button here, but I come up and put my hand there, and now it automatically unlocks. So the rear has the ability to unlock it, but not lock it as far as what I'm seeing right now. So open up the rear door and you're greeted to 2 rows, 3 seats in the middle row and 3 seats in the third row in the back. Let's start off with the third row in the back there. There is multiple levers here, so you're probably wondering which one pulls the seat forward. Well, it's this one here. Push that, that goes forward, and push it back. And now you can easily climb in the back here. It is kind of tight for an adult, but you could easily get through it. A kid would be totally fine. As well as a little handle, if you need a boost, climb in the back here. And the third row is spectacular. You're probably thinking, okay, the third row is terrible. Not at all. It's the same type of leather trim material as the rear, or the third row, the middle row, and the first row. So it's not like the third row is getting skimped out on anything in the back. As well as you got dual cup holders over here, a power outlet to charge a phone, little spot for some candy maybe, AC vents, and the seats are pretty incredible. So let me push this forward, and you got a decent amount of legroom. I mean, I'm 5'8", I'm not massively tall, but look at this. I can comfortably sit in the back here. Maybe not for 5 hours, but an hour or two, totally fine. And the headrests go all the way up, as well as reclining. Like, look at the seating position I'm in right now. So standing up pretty much straight, not bad. Pull this little lever, and I can lay down. I can completely lay down in the third row. This is where I would want to be in this car, because I could just spread out, take a complete nap in the back. And there's one more thing in the third row I want to talk about, because in the second row, you have these blinds that'll come up to block the sun. Well, you don't have them in the base model in the third row. In the higher trims, they do have that here, but they add this little hook. And I might be wrong here, but I wouldn't be surprised if you can buy a mesh type material like that on your own and just hook it here without having to pay extra for the higher trims. So you can get a little like sunshade in the back, like a makeshift one. But now how do I get out of this third row? Because there's no spot to get out. Well, there's a little lever on this side. Oops, sorry, it's over here. Pull that forward, that seat goes flying, and kick it forward. And pull this lever all the way over here, and then use this handle and climb out. And sitting in the second row, it even gets better because you have some pretty cool features. Now it's the same seating material as the third row and the first row, and you have these sunshades on both the rear doors, as well as a little window control to pull that whole entire window down. Cup holder down there, little spot for candy and some storage. The second row legroom is incredible. I can stretch out my legs if I want to, but I want to be nice and give the rear seat passenger or the third row a little bit of room. You could push it forward to give them a little bit more room and you a little bit less if you want to. Headroom wise, if I can flip the camera back over, is extraordinary. Same in the third row. It's the whole thing for the whole car. I don't know if I talked about it, but a 6 foot tall person can definitely fit in here if they want to on any spot, at least with headroom wise. So that's impressive. But this third seat, this middle seat, has some cool stuff to it. Because if you don't have a middle seat passenger, you can do multiple things with this. We'll pull this down, if I could do this with one hand, and you have little cup holders right there and little extra storage for everyone in this car to use, as well as a makeshift armrest. But you still have armrests on these seats if you want to as well. But the coolest thing is this seat can be completely taken out. Yes, You could just throw this away and have captain's chairs. Now, fast forward, I've already taken it out because it is definitely a two-hand job. But when you pull this little lever, the back pops out and then you can just lift it up, put it off to the side. Now, you have this extra gap here. So what's the point of that? Well, I guess if you want the person in the third row to completely have stretching out legs, they can do that, as well as moving this chair over to here because it's on a rail system, both of these chairs here. So if you want to make it easy access for getting into the third row, you can just push this seat left and right and it will move on the track like a little train system. So now it's easy for a passenger to get into the third row there. And I'll pull this lever over on the side here and move left and right, and this seat will move. Yes, like a little tram system. This is fun to begin with. I could just do this all day for fun, but push it over here, and now you have easy access into the third row. So open up that door, you don't even have to squish in, just easy access there. Or again, have that middle seat in the back, have extra legroom. The possibilities are endless what you could do in this car. Open up the front door and you're greeted to really nice materials. So you have soft touch plastic up top here. Now you do have hard touch plastic in the middle, but this nice piece right here where you rest your arm is the leatherette style trim piece. So it's nice to rest your arm, a little bit squishy. Door handle right there, and 2 levels of storage. So you have a level here to put snacks if you want, and a drink there, as well as an umbrella will fit there. So you can have multiple layers of just storage in this vehicle. Speaker grill out there. There is 4 window controls. They are all 1 touch down, 1 touch up, which is pretty nice. Your lock and unlock, and dual memory seat settings for the front seat here. So if you have a husband and wife that hops in this seat, one person likes it here, one person likes it there, you can adjust to their liking. Now the front seats here are leather trimmed bucket seats that are heated as well and hold you into place very nice. I'll talk about it more when I get to the driving portion, but these hold you in and they're comfortable. The headrest is super squishy, or you push your head back and it's like just a pillow. It is so comfortable to use. Now the driver is power operated, so forward, back, tilt, and lumbar controls. And let's see, is the passenger power operated as well? If I can show over here, and yes it is, with lumbar as well. Turn the vehicle on with a push to start and you are greeted to a half digital, half analog gauge cluster here. So this whole part, I don't know if you could tell by the camera, but this whole part's a screen. And over here is an analog miles per hour. That's gonna stay your analog miles per hour. But this can be customized here. So that little center part where that gauge is, you hit this button over at this home button and scroll up and down, and you have brightness settings, gauge display, your warnings that'll show if your tire pressure is low and other warnings, as well as some pretty cool stuff like range and fuel, speed and time, having your audio displayed there. So right now the Black Keys is playing, so it's gonna show, hey, it's playing like on the touchscreen there. This is pretty cool if you want to know what radio station or song's playing, and it'll show the album cover as well. But now you want to scroll down, phone controls, navigation, and my favorite part is the seat belts. It'll show who's seatbelted in the vehicle. Especially in this, there's 8 passengers in a third row. If I go and snip my seatbelt there, it'll show a check mark. So this is useful for kids in the back. This is useful for kids in the back. So if there's a bunch of kids playing in the back there and one of them unbuckles themselves in the middle of the drive, you're driving, you can't really look back there constantly. Have this up, you can see who's unbuckled and then go yell at them. The steering wheel is leather wrapped and it's extremely comfortable to hold in the hand. You have paddle shifters on the back to manually change the gears. Again, a V6 engine, manually change the gears. This is an incredible vehicle. It's a minivan, but it's like a race car. It's pretty sweet. So over here on the left side are some of your media controls. So that's left and right of the music, volume up and down, home button, and that little scroll wheel to control that screen I showed you, as well as your voice commands over here. And some controls over here, some of your safety settings. So this has adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring over on the side there. That'll light up when a car comes over on the side. Front parking sensors. You also have a rear backup camera with moving trajectory lines. That is not the clearest camera, but definitely gets the job done in some different angles if you want them to as well. Now, what if you're one of those people that don't really like any of the safety settings? You could turn them off. So go into this little gauge right here and you can turn off road departure mitigation. Just turn that off if you don't want. Blind spot information, turn that off. You can go and turn off a lot of the safety settings if you don't want it beeping at you. This vehicle has a 9-inch touchscreen with wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, and Honda makes one of the best touchscreens because there's digital controls and physical controls. So right here, if you want to scroll apps around, you can just move it all. So you don't want your Android Auto to be all the way in the top. You want it to be in the bottom, let's say. Move to exactly your liking, just like your smartphone. You have something called Cabin Talk. What is that? Well, when you turn it on, it'll amplify your voice in the front for the rear passengers. So your voice will go through the rear speakers more. So if people in the rear are, fooling around, they have their headphones on, you can turn this on and they're more likely to hear you. So if you need to yell at your kids in the back, you can do that. As well as go into display mode, changing the brightness up or down. And I talked about the physical controls over here because I really like going straight to the home settings, or if I want to go to all apps and hit the back button, just go straight there. Really nice, easy to use, volume knob left and right in the music, as well as digital hotkeys down below. So now I was able to customize and move apps around here. I could do that with the hotbar down here. So just click and drag, and I can move apps around. Oh, I actually got to move up top there and move that there. So now I have Sirius XM radio put in right in the bottom there. Below the touchscreen, there is physical AC controls. Yes, Honda, we absolutely love that. And they're not the super clicky ones that Honda and Acura usually have. They're different for the Odyssey. So it's up and down for the AC and heat here. It's pretty simple, easy to use. It is dual zone, so the driver can have its own temperature and the passenger can, which is pretty cool. As well as the rear. I forgot to talk about this in the rear seats, but the rear has its own AC controls. But now speaking to the back, if you want up in the front, you can turn the rear AC on and off or lock it. So if you want the rear seat, you to control all the rear seat passengers AC, you can do that, which is pretty nice. Dual heated seat down there. You have 3 levels for the driver and the passenger. Your gear lever, well, it's not really a gear lever, it's all gear buttons because you need extra space here for storage. So they just put buttons here. I know a lot of people don't like buttons, but let me tell you, this extra space is definitely nice in this vehicle. You have auto start stop, your snow mode, eco mode down there, USB-C, USB-A, your power outlet to charge multiple devices, and this is your extra storage, which is incredible. It goes deep down over there. You could put a whole person here. That's actually probably what it's meant for, putting a whole person there if you want. Pretty nice. 2 cup holders there, a wireless charging pad to charge your phone. If I can move all my stuff over here, you have a little spot to put items, dual cup holders in the back there, but slide this open and you have some deep extra storage. That goes really deep down. Let's see, I have a water bottle here. Let's see how deep. The whole entire water bottle. Now pull the slider back with your hands and you have a sunroof that you can open up with a power controls right there. And now you can stick your whole body out there if you want to. The back of the Honda Odyssey is so simple, there is really nothing to talk about back here. You have LED taillights and halogen turn signals. Just like the front where it's LED and halogen, mishmash, you have that in the back. You have the Honda logo right front center there, your wiper blade in the back. This is a heated windscreen, or for the rear, so in the wintertime, if this gets ice covered over it, hit a button inside and this will heat up and take the frost off it. Now you do have a third brake light up top here with this little lip spoiler. Gives this more aggressiveness in the back, makes it more race car-like. I kind of like it. And down here, the final thing is your Odyssey badge. That's it. You don't have an EXL, trim badge over there, so no one's gonna know that you're driving the base model vehicle at all. Now, this is my favorite part of all my reviews because I get to see if I can fit in the trunk. Now, most car reviewers will just be like, hey, this is the size and move on. I like to see if it could fit a 5.8 mat in the back. And I already know this can because Honda has one of the coolest trunks in the back here. They have something called their magic seats. So when those are up, it goes deep here. And I mean, deep, to the point where I could, okay, I'm gonna hurt myself doing this, but to the point where I could completely lay down in the back here. I am 5'8", yes, so I'm not that tall, but look at, a 6 foot tall person can probably squeeze in here as well. You can have 2 people crisscross applesauce in the back here, as well as extra storage space here, a subwoofer, a little power outlet there. And if you open this up, you have your little fill up thing for the gas. If you run out of gas on the side of the road and fill it up from a gas tank. Over on the other side, if I can move over, you have even more storage. More storage here, there, as well as your fuse box in the back here. So if you need access to that, that's right there. And now you're probably thinking, okay, how do these magic seats work? Because what if I want a flat piece here, like a normal trunk? I don't want this dip down and then nothing else. Well, pull this lever and pretty simple, you gotta give it a little bit of tug, but pretty simple, those will fly down, push that, and now it's completely flat there. And same on this side. Again, you gotta give it a little bit of a tug, but it's flat. So now if I want, I can climb in this whole entire vehicle and store some groceries, items, a whole Christmas tree if you want to, because that middle seat is still out right now. So I can put a whole piece of wood, 2x4 piece, as well as folding these rear seats and pushing those forward to get even more space. And the classic line, but wait, there's more, because there even is more with this trunk. I saved this for last because it is a hassle and I'm out of breath already doing it. But I talked about the middle seat being able to be taken out. These side seats can be taken out as well. So I've already done it. Again, it's a little bit of process. You need 2 hands, pull this lever there, lift the back up like you do with that middle seat, and then lift it up. And this can completely come out. So I can push that all the way in the back there and have this whole area flat. So you could take all the rear seats out and just have the 2 up front seats here. So really, if you want to throw a Christmas tree in here, you could. You could throw a whole entire item from the back here all the way up there without having any seats. And like I said, the possibilities are endless with the seat configuration because you can have 1 seat in here if you want to. You can have just the rear seats. So if you want just the rear seats out and incredible legroom in that row, you can do that. And you're probably wondering, well, where's the spare tire? Because there's no space for here. You lift this up and it's just storage. There's no space for it. Well, they put it in the middle of the car. Yes, if you go into the middle here, lift this part up. Actually, I'll flip the camera back over, lift this plastic piece there, but rip that up, lift that piece up, and now you have some secret storage. If I can do this with one hand, it's gonna be kind of hard, but if you see there's a spare tire. Now, taking out the 2026 Honda Odyssey EXL out on the road, how does this vehicle feel? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. When I was driving it to the park, I drove it about maybe 20 minutes before doing this video. It felt fantastic, and it still does. This seat holds you into place very nice. The steering feel is incredible. You hit potholes and you feel it a little bit, but not as much as other vehicles. You glide over them. The suspension of the car, it has body roll for sure. But the seat plants you right into place there. You are planted in this. You step on it, you get kicked back. It is 0 to 60 in 6.4 to 6.8 seconds. Keep in mind, I drive a 2020 Chevy Bolt EV, a little electric vehicle that, you know, is not known to be fast, but goes 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. So my little electric vehicle is basically will be tied in this vehicle with a 0 to 60 race. That is crazy. You can beat out a small electric vehicle in a family minivan. Imagine like stomping on the line, like, you know, with your family in the back here and taking out another car. Like, it would be incredible. Please don't do that. Please don't drag race with this car, but it is insane what you can do. The paddle shifters on the back, you could put it into sport mode and use those paddle shifters like you're in, again, a race car. It's incredible. And that V6 engine roars. So if you want to on a weekend, you don't have any of your kids in the back here, take this out as a fun car. It works as that as well. Works for kids, a fun car, like a hauler if you have a Christmas tree. It works for absolutely everything. It is a fun car. I'm having a smile on my face, which is incredible because I've driven faster cars and I don't have that much enjoyment. This is incredible. Honda has done a crazy job with this. The safety settings you have is impressive with the lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, that $42,000 price point, touchscreen, Android Auto, CarPlay. The rear seats can be, again, all taken out. The road noise is pretty calm. You know, you do hear a little bit of outside noise. It's not a luxury vehicle, but especially you turn the AC on or the heat, turn the radio on, you're not going to be hearing the outside whatsoever. The 10-speed automatic transmission is super smooth, so you're not going to be jutting back and forth when you're changing through the gears. It is an overall blast. I really recommend this vehicle. I love this vehicle. I personally enjoy this. I enjoy this more than a lot of luxury vehicles that I do reviews on. The Honda Odyssey is just cool, unique, different. I know a lot of people don't like the minivan, and that's why a lot of other cars are going more rugged SUVs. But Honda did such a good job with this vehicle, and they still continue. They've been going for years, and they still continue to impress me every year. But the real question is, what do you think about this vehicle? Do you think it's worth it or not? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Be completely honest. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep updated with more content. And a huge thank you to Executive Honda of Wallingford, Connecticut for allowing me to use this vehicle for the day. Their information will be linked down in the description below.